dear viewers, my name is Nino and you're watching Nino's product reviews, and today we're going to take a look at a mini LED projector from Cheerlux. Now I know we've taken a look at quite a few of them so far, but this one is also very interesting because as the previous ones, it is quite cheap. Now the resolution here is 800 x 480. On the inside we see we have a cable, a power cord basically, we have a remote control, and this remote control is actually quite nice. It's nothing special, but it doesn't feel super cheap as some other ones sometimes do. It does use two AAA batteries, nothing to be worried about. And here we have another adapter. This one I see with all these cheap projectors as well, so nothing out of the ordinary. And last but not least, we have the elevation screw. Now this screw is basically going to be screwed on the bottom of the projector itself, and it's going to elevate the front part of the projector. It's actually quite handy and very nice, but projectors which don't have a keystone function have a serious problem, so we're going to see if that is the case here. Now the manual is in English and German, so that's pretty cool no matter where you're buying it, at least in the countries that speak one of the two languages. But quite honestly, you don't really need a manual for this. The operation of this device is very simple, as it is with most cheap devices of this kind. In the front we have the lens. On the side, as you can see here, we have the fans. In the back we have fans. Then we have an HDMI port, a USB port for something like a USB stick, the keystone function down here. That's great. Now if you don't know what a keystone function is, basically as you elevate a projector, the image is going to stretch weirdly, so with a keystone you can fix that. We have a speaker on the side, and this speaker is actually not bad at all. It's quite loud. Okay, the quality of the sound isn't particularly good, and I personally like to use audio out entry, sorry, in the back, to connect it to simply a Bluetooth speaker of some kind, obviously with an aux cable, so it's not gonna work over Bluetooth, but then I have a much better sound, and this makes this device very portable because it is quite small after all. And as you can see, that's how the screw works. Now we're going to start with a movie. This is a random movie here. I've turned on the mute sign on the top left, as you can see, because obviously I'm not going to record the audio right now while I'm filming. It makes no sense since my camera cannot record audio very good. But as you can see, the picture is actually quite clear and very bright. It's not bad at all. And we have to also consider that this is a huge projection, okay, at a distance of about 1.5 meters to 2 meters, something like that. I managed to achieve something a little bit more than 80 inch in a diagonal, or 220 centimeters roughly. Now this is a bit more than 80, it's like 85 inch, something like that, and the device could handle more. I just didn't have the space to place it even further back. So that's pretty amazing for a cheap device like this. I was very satisfied. Excellent result, really. But of course, you know, you're not gonna only watch movies, you're also gonna watch animation potentially. So here we have some Futurama going on, and as you can see, yet again, it actually looks great. Now my camera is positioned a little bit on the side, so it will seem a little bit like the left side of the screen is a bit dimmer. This is mostly because of the camera's position. Actually, obviously I cannot place the camera right in the middle in front of the projector because that would block the light, and I couldn't place it anywhere behind it because the projector was right at the wall, so I was being forced to basically put it on the side. And I apologize for this, but still it gives you a very good scale of how big something is. On the top right, if you notice, that's where my PlayStation 3 box is actually. So as you can see, you probably have seen the PlayStation 3. This is how big it is. The screen is really huge. It covers pretty much the whole wall, every part of the visual part. And like I said, by turning the lens left and right, you can effectively change the sharpness of the picture, which means that in my case I could make it even more so. Well, I could make it sharper, but if it was more distant from the wall, then I could have adjusted. Basically, at some point with each projector, you reach a plateau at which you can't sharpen anymore, and this is the border. Now, some of you might be asking themselves, what about gaming? So this is what I went with. I decided to play some games. Now, in this particular case, I'm actually using footage from another channel of my own, and I'm not actually connecting this right now to my PC. I did it as well, but it was very uncomfortable for the recording, so I decided I'm just gonna record the footage separately and play it. Essentially, it adds up to the same. As you can see, it's quite doable. One can actually play games with this. It is a bit dark. If the game is quite dark, or if it gets too dark in the game, you're gonna have a problem. In the light scenes like this, it's absolutely not an issue and it works really well. But if you want to go with something really dark, it's gonna get more difficult. Also here in The Witcher 3 we have very advanced graphics. Here we have Wolfenstein, and you can tell that here again a bright scene, so everything's okay, but at the same time it's not quite the same. So I would really yet again recommend this more if you are using older consoles or if you're playing games on lower resolutions, simply because if you go for a higher resolution it's going to software upscale, but it's never gonna look quite as good. And that's pretty much it. There isn't much to say about this. Now sometimes people ask me, can you use this for example for presentations? Absolutely yes. Just you're gonna have to make the font a little bit bigger. As you can see here in the subtitles, they're absolutely readable, so as long as the font is not too tiny, you're not gonna have any problems. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.